What? I said, are you ready? Yeah! Get stealing, woo, wheeling, dealing. The cream of the crop. Nobody does it better. I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning. But brother, I am bad and they know I'm bad.
I'm the man of the hour, the man with the power. Too sweet to be sour.
This is going to be a slobber knocker.
Welcome to The Grill Out. From the heart of Shillian, West Virginia, here's your host, Hollywood Jeff Petty.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of The Grill Out, episode 17. I'm your host, Jeff Petty, Hollywood Jeff Petty. I don't know, I'm having an existential crisis. And I'm joined by my illustrious co-host, plural, because there's two of them this time, Josh Cole, Bebe, the belt expert, our belt collector, and the one and only Jason. I don't know if I like him or not, Lykens.
You know, I've been hearing a lot of things about where have I been. And I'll tell you exactly where it is that I've been. I've been in the deepest parts of the Congo. I've gone to the highest peaks of the Himalayas. I've seen the Dungeon of Doom and the Yapapai strap match. And everywhere I've gone, I've been searching for someone who gives a crap about Hulk Hogan. And I haven't found anybody. You know, I was a frogman down in Guantanamo. I was there. Were you there? They told me I was bleeding. I told them I ain't got time to bleed. We were packed in tighter than a Mississippi tick.
The chaotic energy has fully returned. So, Jason.
Yeah.
Where have you been? We've been telling people that you're at an undisclosed location. You've been on assignment, basically. You've been sending us some text about what's going on, and you were undercover.
So do you want to know where I've been?
Yes.
I've been in the deepest parts of the Congo, to the highest points of the Himalayan mountains. I've seen the Dungeon of Doom with Kevin Sullivan and the Yeti. I saw the Yapapai strap match. I was there with his brother Brutai, who all of a sudden became a Zodiac, and then the Booty Man. It just made me really uncomfortable. And then he became what was he? I don't remember that one. But where have I been? Here's what I want to know. It's always, where are you, Jason? Not, how are you? Or why are you? Why am I not here? I've been busy. What have I been doing? Minding my own business.
I don't know if this is Jason we're
Do you
speaking
know
to
what's
or
behind?
Batty.
Do you know what's behind the doors at Area 51?
What is behind
I've
the
seen
doors?
them. I've looked in the doors, and I'll tell you what's there. It's a Chuck E. Cheese because the people there need to eat.
I love it.
Yep, I bet you didn't know that, did you?
No, I didn't.
Area 51 is the original site of Chuck E. Cheese. That's where the mouse lives. People are worried about Mickey Mouse, but no, they need to be worried about Chucky Mouse.
The straight chaotic energy. I
started a nonprofit organization while I've been gone. It's called DAM, D-A-M. That's Men Against Dyslexia.
Okay. All right, we got a good barometer about where Jason's been.
Yep.
And now I'm crying.
Yep.
Can the Batty inform us of what a Skywalker match is?
A Skywalker match?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had this conversation. Was it last week?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, about what a Skywalker match. What is a Skywalker match?
Well, you see, there's been a few of them in the history of the universe, not just the United States, because there's more wrestling done in the universe than just the United States. A Skywalker match, you see, I've seen it done a few ways. One time, there was these people like on a big scaffold, and it was kind of like you were walking in the sky, so they called it a Skywalker. The other time, I saw a documentary about a guy and his son. I think his name was Anakin. But at the time, he went under the alias of Darth Vader, and he fought this guy named Luke Skywalker, and they were in a match to see who's going to win, good versus evil. It's like me versus Hogan, and I always won, yep.
All right.
Any other questions?
Nope. I think we're going to leave it right there.
Yep, probably for the best.
Yep.
Yep.
Have you ever met Jeff Goldblum?
I have met Jeff Goldblum, and he doesn't like you either. I asked him, I said, Jeff, what do you think of Josh Cole? And he looked at me and he said, change the world, and I don't like Josh Cole. And I was like, I don't like him either, and you know who else doesn't like him? Sting. That's number one topic on your little breakdown here, podcast boy, is number one. Sting hates Josh Cole.
And you know, I was getting the title on the document, and it immediately said Sting hates Josh Cole as soon as I clicked it. Anyway.
Yep, you want to be a big podcaster, huh? Well, how about you shut your mouth and I do this, huh? Bray Wyatt rumored to headline Hall of Fame. You see, it's not so hard. I could do it. I can read. I know how to read, Mom.
I wasn't. Yeah, that's why you had, what was it, Men Against Dyslexia?
Yeah, damn.
Okay. Honestly, that's not even the first story I was going to go with. I had a segue, but you know, we'll just go with
I
Bray
don't
Wyatt.
like segues. I fell off of one.
So yeah, Bray Wyatt is to headline
I'm going
the
to
Hall
go
of
take
Fame.
a nap.
I hope so. There were 6 minutes into the podcast, and
You're welcome.
Jason is completely back. So yeah, no, Bray Wyatt is rumored to headline the Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, as to what everybody knows, Bray Wyatt did pass away in August of this year. Yeah. This week, WrestleMania asked their fans who should be part of the 2024 WWE Hall of Fame. This led to Wyatt's name trending as fans rallied behind the induction of the three-time world champion. So, does WWE have Bray Wyatt headline the Hall of Fame next year? I think so.
Probably.
I disagree.
Really?
I honestly do.
Okay.
I think the biggest reason why this is happening is because the modern day fan really loved Bray Wyatt. I was a huge Bray Wyatt fan. I don't think, just personally, that he did enough in the entire business industry to put himself in the Hall of Fame or to even headline it.
You make a very valid point, because one thing that did pop up in my head about this is WWE has a habit of inducting someone posthumously.
Yes.
Prime example of that is Eddie Guerrero.
Yes.
I mean, granted, Eddie did, he was more around than Bray Wyatt, meaning he was in WCW and
Yes.
ECW and was technically there at the start of Ring of Honor. I am not necessarily disagreeing with you there, but I just based on how WWE is, I could see him doing it.
Oh, no, 100% I see them doing it.
Yeah.
I think, his dad isn't even in the Hall of Fame yet.
No, but, are we really going to put IRS in the Hall of Fame?
Well,
but then again, with this Hall of Fame, is it really as legitimate as people?
No.
No.
It's the WWE Hall of Fame. It isn't until there is a physical location you can go to and actually see things for a Hall of Fame, it isn't.
Yeah, and so interesting you say that, because, okay, on the program before, and both of you know me personally, I do like NASCAR. Okay, I like motorsports and stuff like that. Woo! No, raise hell, praise Dale.
You ain't rubbing, you ain't racing.
The awesome Bill from Dawsonville.
Miss you, Intimidator.
That was the 3. But WWE's Hall of Fame and NASCAR's Hall of Fame were a few years apart, but they sort of brought them out around the same time. NASCAR already has a building for their Hall of Fame in Charlotte. WWE has yet to do that, which is a little astounding because you guys do have the money for it. So yeah.
According to Flair, they were planning on building one back in 2020, but COVID delayed that. I don't know where it's at right now, but there's that.
You can definitely take everything that Flair says as truth.
Yeah.
Every single
100%.
thing. He has never lied about anything.
But you know who has lied about almost everything?
Hulk Hogan?
Yes.
Yeah. It was Oh God.
There was actually, this isn't even in the show notes. It just popped in my head. I didn't listen to it because I knew what was about to happen. But Rogan has been doing these things where he's been bringing wrestlers in. Like he had Kurt Angle on there, he's had Ric Flair on there, he had Hulk Hogan on there, and everybody was freaking out. Oh, he's going to have Hulk Hogan, who are not like real big wrestling fans. They just remember like Hulkamania Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, nah, he's gonna lie about everything. Yeah. So apparently, about 6 minutes into the podcast, he was already lying, talking about when Brock Lesnar came back from the UFC. He's like, brother, they gave him to me, and I put him over.
Yeah.
It's like Flair. Hogan, like, nah, Hogan is a straight up liar.
We did that whole segment on him like a few episodes ago. Or whatever.
Oh, we did. Yeah. We did an entire segment about.
You want to hear my favorite one for
you?
When Hogan is talking about how Elvis was a huge Hulk Hogan fan, but Elvis died before Hulk Hogan was ever created.
That's true. That is very true. Did Elvis died before Hogan was probably even wrestling, before he debuted?
I'm not sure on that one, but I know as Hulk Hogan, Elvis wasn't alive.
Yeah, well,
allegedly.
That's true. Yes, allegedly. We could bring the baddie back in to talk about.
Well, we'll save that for another episode. Elvis is in the Bermuda Triangle with Tupac and Biggie eating peanut butter and banana sandwiches. Anyway, moving on. The update on the WrestleKingdom 18 card, it's starting to shape up now. We may have a couple extra matches added to it, but so far this is the matches that they do have. You have Shingo Takagi taking on Tama Tonga for the Never Openweight Championship. Hiromu Takahashi taking on El Desperado for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Bullet Club War Dogs and Drilla Maloney are taking on Catch 22, TJP, and Francesco Akira for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. Bishamon Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi are taking on the World Tag League winners. We don't know who that is yet, as that tournament is still in progress as we speak. For the IWGP Tag Team Championships, Zack Sabre Jr. will be taking on Hiroshi Tanahashi for the NJPW World Television Championship. Will Ospreay will be taking on Jon Moxley and David Finlay in a three-way match for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship. Bryan Danielson taking on Kazuchika Okada in a special singles match. Better bubble wrap Bryan Danielson between now and then. And then your main event for that night will be Sonata taking on Tetsuya Naito for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. And that is your card for Wrestle Kingdom 18 as of right now.
And there's three interesting things.
Yes.
Everything but the Bryan Danielson match is a championship match.
Yep.
It is not 2 nights or 3 nights this year.
Yeah, that's true. They have brought back just the one sole night for that. And I will also say I'm still debating it on whether or not I'm going to take off work and stay up and watch it.
Also notice the lack of the strong openweight championship, but we know why on that.
Yeah. It's Jason, just know that AEW is just trying to book their own Triple Crown right now.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you were up to speed on that.
Yes.
Yep. They're trying to do their own All Japan 1990s. 1980s actually.
Just because I haven't been here doesn't mean I haven't been keeping up with things while I've been in the deepest parts of the Congo. At the highest peaks of the Himalayan mountains.
Oh, good Lord. But
in the 3-tier cage to destroy Hulkamania.
Oh, Lord.
With the Yeti.
With the Yeti. I'm still debating on this. I may do a segment where
the shark.
And the shark? What?
Yeah, whenever John Tenta came in and he was an Avalanche, WWE sent a cease and desist because that was too close to Earthquake. So he then became the Shark.
Oh, that's right. And then wasn't it that he was a heel, so like kids were like booing him and stuff, and in a way he didn't like that because he was like personally kind of a good person. I think I read that somewhere. I don't know how true that is, but
potentially he spent the majority of his career as a heel, but the shark thing was dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, really, really dumb.
Yeah.
I could talk about old WCW gimmicks all day.
Oh, we you know what?
Especially with Bobby Blake.
We may actually do that one day.
Okay.
The holidays is coming up.
Yeah.
We got a spread this year.
Yeah.
But no, that's your WrestleKingdom 18 card as of right now. I don't know. I may do a segment on like, because I know there is some people out there. It's like, hey, maybe I do want to check out some Japanese wrestling. I just don't know how to go about it. It's not that hard, but I may just do it.
You stay up very late.
You do. Just take off work the next day if you work during the day. And the best way to because I know a lot of people are worried about it because of the language barrier. What it really comes down to is you just got. I follow certain accounts, social media accounts online that translate everything and make it easier for an English speaker to follow Japanese pro wrestling. So I don't know. I mean,
Japanese isn't hard to read.
Not at all. I actually tried learning it at one point.
Did you?
Yes. I didn't get very far.
No.
I know arigato is a thank you.
Yeah.
Domo arigato is thank you very much.
Yeah. I learned that from Styx.
Yep. Also Mr. Roboto.
Well, that is the...
oh, yeah. Okay. No, never mind.
Jesus
Christ. Listen, I just know the song.
Just read the next story.
Oni-chan?
What is it?
Oni-chan?
Woo.
That's Roman Reigns.
Ohio.
Ohio.
Okay, you can't say it like that.
No, there is. I think there's actually a.
No, I know there is.
Yeah,
it's hello, but it's the way you said it.
No,
he's embracing his inner anime girl.
I try to get the dialect correct.
Oh, okay.
Leave me alone.
Okay, no,
that's just how I am. I'm weird.
It's pronounced Ohio.
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 It's okay. No one from Ohio listens.
No, they don't.
Have we gone up to 4 listeners yet?
I haven't checked. I'll check here in a little bit.
Okay.
So just moving on, the Iron Claw movie is coming out. I think in December 22nd. I think that is when it comes out. It's late
good
December.
Christmas movie.
Yeah. Well, okay. So have y'all seen the trailer?
Yes.
Okay, real quick. What's y'all's thoughts on the trailer?
Looks interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad.
Yeah, it does not look bad. I like how they have it's pretty accurate so far. It looks with the World Class Championship Wrestling apron and the free birds being in there and everything. So just to give a backstory, Ivy and I were actually at the movies a couple weeks ago watching what was it? It was called The Holdouts, The Holdovers, or something like that. It's a really good movie. So
good you don't remember the name of it.
It's something like that.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. He just likes to mess with me.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there and we're watching all the previews. The Iron Claw trailer comes on. I have not got a chance to watch it at this point. So I go ahead and watch it. We're sitting there, and she goes, that's a wrestling movie, right? I said, yeah. She goes, well, do you want to watch it? Do you want to come back and see it like next month? I was like, yeah, we can. She goes, so what's it about? I was like, well, I already know the story.
Yeah.
She goes, why do you want to come back and watch it then? I'm like, I just want to see how accurate they get it. So she's asking me, she goes, what is the story behind it? I'm not telling her the story. I'm just going to let her, when we go see it, I will tell y'all how it goes, but we're going to go see it, and I'm going to take her in there blind.
I hope that they don't leave anything out.
I hope they don't either. It's a very tragic story, but I think it's a story that in a way needs to be told.
Yeah.
They at one point WCCW was, it was probably one of the top 3 promotions.
That's where Shawn Michaelson got to start.
Yeah. Shawn Michaelson, eventually Shawn Michaels. Also, Fritz Von Erich, the promoter, was one of the only promoters that Bruiser Brody would do business properly with.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because I think Fritz actually was one of the people that trained Brody, so he had a great deal of respect for him. Anywho, last story, and then we're going to get into the middle segment. In the middle segment,
I thought there was more with the Iron Claw trailer.
I just wanted to mention the Iron Claw trailer
I was just curious
and just see what y'all's thoughts were on it.
I noticed a distinct lack of MJF in that trailer, but.
Yeah, I think he does have a small on-screen role, but he's playing he's going to be an executive producer.
Let me ask you this.
What?
Does Michael Hayes make an appearance? Not the character Michael Hayes, but Michael Hayes himself.
I don't think they do. I don't think he does.
You don't think so?
No, because I don't know how true this
Like
is.
in his purple suit, you don't think he's going to be in the background somewhere? Being like, Bad Street, Atlanta, GA. Like, you don't think he'll just be back there? Like, no one invited him to set. He just shows up.
Yeah, and then X-Pac comes up and cuts his ponytail off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
That's the movie I want to see.
That is the movie. Yeah. But just to kind of end, the last story in this entire segment, this is coming from the Wrestling Observer newsletter. AEW's revenues has come out conveniently with what happened this past Saturday with CM Punk debuting. It is they are expected to finish the year grossing between $170 million to $175 million in revenue. And as to what was it last week, Josh, that we were talking about how they've been doing their finances and it seems like that according to how they're doing some of their finances, they're just reinvesting the money into the company, which in the long term is kind of a smart way to go about it, especially if you're the Khan family and you have more money than God at times. So yeah. He may. Anyway, that's going to be the last story because I know a lot of people are talking about CM Punk, and they want to know
who
CM Punk.
Phillip Brooks.
I don't think I've ever heard of him.
Oh, you're about to. He made his re-debut, his return to WWE this past Saturday, and we are going to talk about that. So stay tuned.
It's time for more of the Grill Out. Here's Hollywood Jeff Petty.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second segment of the Grill Out, episode 17. He was trying to do that, but we kind of cut the mic off. So
yeah,
that's Jason, in case you don't know. And
what's amazing is everything I said about CM Punk came true. Him returning.
That is true. I didn't even tally up. I did not tally up the Survivor Series scores for predictions. Josh, you just won.
Yeah.
I don't. Are we okay with that, Jason? Just give Josh the win because he did. He called. He's
no.
He's saying nay.
No, because here's the thing: we have rules for a reason. Okay, without rules, you go into anarchy. And what happens when you go into anarchy? Then all of a sudden, you're down in the deepest parts of the Congo to the highest points of the Himalayas. That's my title. I know it is, yep.
Oh, my God.
You know who told me that? Sting. You know what else he told me?
What did he tell you?
You really want to know?
Yes.
Do you want to know, Josh?
Yes.
This is what Sting told me. He said, and I quote, I hate Josh Cole. I said, why Sting? He said, his face, his hair, his car, everything about him. I said, Sting, you can't go around hating people. And he said, watch me.
And you know who actually took that advice? CM Punk.
Yep.
Going around and just hating on everybody.
Yep. Because he's not here to make friends. He's here to make money.
Which is...
Kennedy McMahon.
Not Jason. The baddie did.
Yep.
The domino effect of that podcast.
Of the Art of Wrestling podcast.
Yeah.
Not just that, but the Art of Wrestling podcast and also the tweet for All In. Mm-hmm. Those two things is what's led to the present day.
Thanks, Jack Perry.
Yeah, thank you, Jack Perry. But yeah, so CM Punk has made his...
Jack Perry says, you're welcome, and Sting hates Josh Cole.
Okay, we're really, really getting that over. But no, CM Punk made his return to WWE. I want to say shockingly, but in hindsight, with Triple H being in charge and him bringing the Ultimate Warrior and Bruno Sammartino and other folks back into the fold who we thought would never, Bret Hart, who we thought would never return to the WWE, we now have CM Punk back in the WWE with an updated theme song for Cult of Personality.
The remastered or whatever version.
Yes. Oh. Which I feel like that they were not supposed to release that the night before like they did. I feel like somebody...
Which kind of spoiled it a little bit.
It did. I feel like that somebody messed up. Somebody messed up with that.
Is the person who messed up Tony Khan?
Yeah.
You're going to say he's the one that messed up?
Yeah.
Because he let CM Punk go?
Well, just his authority, it wasn't there.
No. No.
I couldn't get the words to come to mind, but yeah, if he could have just handled things a lot better, that probably would not have happened.
If Tony can be a boss instead of a fan.
Yes, absolutely. And honestly, the line at the end of CM Punk's promo of "I'm here to make money, not friends." So this whole week, I know I've been texting y'all about this, sort of about what the show is going to be. I've been trying to wrap my head around this, and I've been listening to anywhere I really can to see if people are having the same thoughts that I am. And it's sort of similar, but I have not heard one person say that. And I know he has an NDA against him. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that's going to fully stop Punk if he can find a way to work around it. I feel almost as if that final line maybe inadvertently was a jab at AEW. Because one of the things that people have called AEW is all friends wrestling. Yeah. Especially in the beginning when they were hiring all their friends, which in a way I kind of understand, especially if you've went through this business and you've gotten help from all these people and you finally have a chance to help them back.
Yeah, you're going. Well, and also you go with people that you can rely on.
Exactly. Long term, it has been detrimental to them. So yeah, see, I don't want to see scorched earth. I kind of want to see all this stuff to die down because I'm just tired of hearing it. To be honest, with CM Punk and AEW and all this, we're not going to find out about what actually happened for years.
No,
we're not. Who knows how long the NDA is on Punk. I'm curious as if Punk is he the only one that has an NDA against him? Is there other ones?
Well, I know Tony can't speak on it either.
Okay, well,
because he was asked about it and he said he can't speak on it. So.
Okay.
Well, it was weird. He had an interview like last week or whatever. Yeah, right after the Survivor Series debut of Punk, and he was asked what his thoughts were. And he's like, "I can't speak on it. I legally can't speak on it." It's kind of weird. It's like you can't just give your thoughts, but whatever.
Or maybe he's just trying to avoid it altogether. Yeah. And I actually this past week I did go back and watch the press conference right before the brawl out at All Out.
No.
And yeah, I mean, my thoughts on it are still the same. Tony looked like a chump. Mm-hmm. He looked like a straight chump sitting there, and this dude is ripping your company a new one, and you're just letting it happen. That would not, especially, and I'm not trying to be like one of these people like, oh, that wouldn't happen in WWE. It wouldn't.
Yeah.
At the moment that would have started, it would have gotten squashed right there. Mm-hmm. Like that would not have went by Vince. That wouldn't have went by Triple H.
Yeah.
At all. But I will say, in a way, I think Punk, after a while, wanted to go back to WWE, but in a way, it's hypocritical, especially of all the stuff he has said in the past 10 years.
Well, but I mean, if anything, being a wrestling fan for as long as I have, mm-hmm. the one thing is never does not mean ever.
True.
It's...
Never say never.
No. People always come back. Well, I mean, unless you're Howard Finkel.
Yeah, I'm sorry we had to break that news to you.
Yeah, I'm still.
Although I am curious, if Vince was actually still in charge, would CM Punk be back?
Maybe not. Yeah. Maybe not, because didn't Vince say that Punk was one of the few people he would not do business with anymore?
Yeah.
No, but I mean, Vince isn't in charge anymore.
No. No, and I think Vince is looking for his way out.
Yeah. He's been selling stock in his shares of the company.
Yep. I mean, I look for. I don't see him. I don't see him sticking around. Yeah. I see him eventually, maybe within the next year or two, just bouncing out. Especially with all the investigations going on against him,
and the fact TKO has basically said he's a PR nightmare.
Yeah, he basically. Let's be honest. Has Vince ever not been a PR nightmare?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I mean, ever since the even before the Mr. McMahon character, you go back to the steroid trials and whatnot, and then go back even further to the territories and where he was just poaching talent then.
Speaking of Vince McMahon, things that have changed since CM Punk's been in last was in WWE. Vince McMahon was in charge.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have a bunch of things that have changed.
So you said you had a list.
Yeah.
Okay, what is all on your list?
So the last time CM Punk was in WWE, the scratch logo was the logo.
Like, what year was CM Punk last in WWE?
He left, well, discounting that little WWE backstage show, which was in 2019, he was last in WWE January 2014.
Okay.
The Universal Championship did not exist. Randy Orton was the undisputed champion. The Shield were still together. Undertaker was still undefeated at WrestleMania. The Horsewomen were still in NXT. Ben Balor was still in New Japan.
Also, he was Prince Devitt at the time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Batista just returned and won the Rumble. New Day did not exist as a team. AJ Lee was the Divas champion. Wonder if she's coming back. Cesaro was still with Zeb Coulter. The Usos had not won any tag team championships yet.
Wow.
The S movement was in its prime. Rhea Ripley was still in high school.
What?
Yeah. The Wyatt family were in their rookie year. The WWE Network had not yet launched. It launched the next month. Drew McIntyre was still in 3MB. Bo Dallas was the NXT champion. And Kevin Owens was not yet in the company.
So all of that up to now has happened before we got Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Which apparently we're supposed to be getting a trailer for that on
Allegedly.
the 5th.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. And also, speaking of Brian Danielson, apparently the disciplinary committee, when Punk got into it with Jack Perry and everything, which, side note, I will say, if you go back and listen to that episode of when Punk got fired, and I still stand by my thoughts on that. I do, about how it was conducted, and it was the biggest house that they've had, biggest non-WWE house in the UK, and that was all the focus, was that. I still stand by that. Whatever the backstage dynamic, which I think Mark Henry sort of hinted at it a little bit on Busted Open, and I'll get right to that. Whatever the backstage dynamic is, Punk, he did it to himself, and maybe he was trying to get fired.
Yeah.
Because the rule was announced and debuted and all that. He was seen at WWE. He was backstage that one time, and apparently he was talking to Triple H, for a couple minutes. Maybe burying the hatchet right there. Maybe that was where the seeds were planted. Then he gets Collision, and who knows? That's pure speculation, pure unadulterated speculation. But one of the interesting things, there's a lot of interesting things with this, but one of them is the disciplinary committee, which consisted of one lawyer that was inside the company, one outside lawyer, and Brian Danielson. Danielson has sort of said that he was not the head of said committee, but I still think he did have a say-so on what happened. Yeah. So this is the disciplinary committee that they had that this disciplinary committee is the ones that pulled the trigger and got rid of Punk and said we can't do this anymore, which again I think was the best way to go about this. Yeah. I hope it works out for everybody. I hope AEW can put this behind them and start building momentum again. AEW is never ever going to be able to compete with WWE. Nobody is. No. They have years ahead of them. Okay, and Tony Khan can say he's got more money than them. Sometimes it seems like he's got more money than brains. Not more money than brains, but more money than nerve. Because his backstage area, and not just with CM Punk, has just been toxic for over a year now. And that's as any wrestling fan who somewhat pays attention to the dirt sheets knows, or anybody that's been in the wrestling business, or anybody that's worked, a toxic workplace is not good. Never is.
No, I think you need to get rid of your EVPs.
Yes.
Like the boys do not need to be EVPs.
No. I don't with all of that. Yeah, I understood why the Bucks went over there because Punk did kind of challenge them in the press conference, but at the same time, you have EVP as your title. Yeah. Okay, and Kenny, I think Kenny may have just been going along with them.
Yeah.
Who knows?
He seems to be the only level-headed one there.
Just about, yeah. Because it seems like a lot of people who say I don't like the Bucks say I don't like the Bucks, but I have respect for Kenny. Mm-hmm. And it does seem like Kenny is the level-headed one. I mean, he saved the dog.
Yeah,
he saved the dog. What more could you ask for from a human being? He made sure the dog was fine. So, but yeah, like I do. I hope it all works out. But what I was talking about with Mark Henry, I said I've bounced around the different areas. I've listened to Wrestle Talk, to Cultaholic, to What Culture, to Busted Open Radio. And Mark Henry said something rather interesting earlier this week on Busted Open. Basically, he said one side was saying that they had their finger on the pulse of the future of wrestling, and the other side was saying, I've been here, done this, listen to me. And that was kind of, I guess, where the egos started clashing. And there was no communication. So it seems like there was a breakdown of communication just by that little bit that Mark Henry, again, some of this is speculation, but based on that little line from Mark Henry on Busted Open, that's what it seems like. It seems like there was a breakdown of communication between both parties. Punk, who has the experience, and rightfully so, it should be able to put his input, couldn't because EVPs. And the EVPs, I'm not taking up for them, but the wrestling business has changed. They had the hottest product coming out at one point. They do know what's going on. They do know what some people want. I mean, look, NXT has went in that direction. Even Shawn Michaels has made the comment too, like when Kevin Nash was talking, well, why are they doing it like this in the ring? Michaels has even made the comment that's wrestling now. So I think the Elite does have some argument there, but it seems like to me it all came down to lack of communication, egos clashing, and a lack of management, and no discipline, none. And the inmates were running the asylum.
With AEW, I wish they could just stop taking jabs at WWE on promos. Just stop. Yeah. Just don't do it. Don't acknowledge them.
It was exciting in the beginning.
But it's like every week.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, if you do something once or twice, then it's exciting. If you're doing it constantly, then it's your shtick, and that's what you get known for.
Yeah.
Just stop worrying about WWE and just focus on AEW.
Yeah. And so with what you're saying, just to add on to that, so QT Marshall he's resigning, he's leaving, and there's been a couple things that's come out about why he's leaving. One of them has said he wanted to be a star, wanted to be, I guess, a talent. Tony doesn't see him that way, which I could see that being the thing. But in his the sort of loosely termed press release that he put out for it, said that the company is going in a different direction. From the sounds of it, it sounds like the company is going in more of a New Japan type style, which I'm okay with. Me personally, I'm okay with it. I kind of prefer that wrestling, but I'm not the casual fan. I'm a hardcore fan. That's just how it is. But that was sort of AEW's identity in the very beginning. Was we're going to focus more on the sports side than the entertainment side, which again I was okay with. It seems like since then they have sort of drifted away from that and went more entertainment based. I think that if they're going to go in that direction, go more of a New Japan, Japanese wrestling style, focusing more on sports, they absolutely should.
I know one of his issues was the fact that they would...
Too many belts?
Well, yeah. But, Tony Khan put a pay-per-view together, but, no builds to the pay-per-views, no stories or anything. It just kind of throws all the matches on there last minute.
Yeah.
That was one of his issues there.
Yeah. And I know I've said this before on the show, and I'll say it again. I think he should have a booking committee.
Yeah.
especially when it comes to Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor has what is it? Is it Final Battle in a couple weeks?
Something like that, yeah.
So they have actually, I'm gonna pull it up. They have, I think it's Final Battle in a couple weeks, which is Ring of Honor's like end of the year, like their big show at the end of the year. Here it is. Joey Janela tweeted this out. Ring of Honor Final Battle Friday, December 15th. They have sold like 600 tickets. 996 tickets have been sold. They still have 2,726 tickets available. They're 2 weeks out.
Yeah.
You have too much on your plate.
Oh, 100%.
And Joey Janela also added, he said Ring of Honor is AEW Dark Deluxe.
Yes.
Absolutely. It absolutely is. I understand why Tony Khan bought Ring of Honor. And I sort of agree with him. You know, he really for the name all in. But if you're going to run another promotion, you need to delegate responsibilities.
Oh yeah.
And if those people do not meet your expectations, get rid of them, put new people in there.
Yeah.
That's how this works. Tony, he should know this. And I think you're 100% right, Jason. He needs to be a business person first and a fan second. He needs to quit being a fan.
Yeah. See, I have an opinion on what he should do with Ring of Honor that is probably going to make a lot of people angry.
That's okay.
Put Jim Cornette in charge of it. Jim Cornette, just have it essentially be your feeder program, the way that Jim Cornette was with OVW. Mm-hmm. Because when Jim was with OVW, it was great. Mm-hmm. I mean, he is a very opinionated person.
Absolutely.
His idea of the business, which is a lot of a older mindset, but if a lot of the wrestlers could understand better storytelling in a match, then that's still going to work with the sports side of it. Yeah. That's also going to create a bigger entertainment side. I watched the Kenny Omega Okada matches with New Japan. I thought they were good. Mm-hmm. I didn't think they were what everyone or all these other people made them out to be. Like, what, 8-star matches? Because there wasn't really a whole lot of story in the match. It didn't seem like to me anyways.
Yeah.
I hate the way Kenny sells. I absolutely hate it. It's too over the top. Mm-hmm. He's like a Japanese character whenever he's selling.
In a way, yes.
I mean, I don't take away the fact that he is a great athlete and a great wrestler, but a lot of the facial expressions just lose it for me.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that. I will say I picked up on the story when it came to the Okada matches.
Okay.
Like with the first one, it started off slow because it was their first match against one another.
Yeah.
And they sort of they built the tempo as it went on. The second match, which was the time limit draw, they were go the whole time because they're used to each other at that point. The third match, which was during the G1, they had to go at an even faster pace because it's a time limit.
Yeah.
Kenny has to beat Okada in order to make it to the finals. And then when it came to the final, to the fourth match, the 2 out of 3 falls, no time limit, that was pretty much everything culminating into one.
Yeah.
And that's for me. That's just and I just said it a little bit ago. That is the type of wrestling I prefer.
Yeah.
And that's just a personal taste for me. That's not to say that I don't go back and watch old wrestling, because I do have a tendency to do that. I mean, especially when it comes back to going back to watching old Bruiser Brody matches,
yeah,
whether it is in Japan or in the States. I think with the current state of professional wrestling, you can combine old school and new school mentality.
100%.
And everybody. And this goes for anybody that goes for the flippy stuff, mm-hmm, and anybody that wants the old school stuff. Set your differences to the side. Find a middle ground, which is a lot of things, and I'm not trying to get political. That's a lot of things in this country. Set your differences to the side. Find a middle ground.
100%.
Because it can work. I fully believe it can work.
For me, no, go ahead, Josh.
To kind of piggyback off what you were saying about ROH, not about bringing Jim Cornette in, but to be like a feeder program. A lot of people already view it as like their NXT. I think they should just embrace that, make it their essentially developmental.
Yeah. I mean, and if you're going to have Jim as a on-air person, just be like, Jim, watch what you say.
Yep.
Just don't say anything that people could misconstrue as racist or offensive. Just watch what you say. Yeah,
because this is also the same Jim Cornette again, and I'm just going to tie a bow on all of this because we're going to wrap up this segment. This is the same Jim Cornette that people say is racist and all that, but he has been to BLM rallies.
Yeah,
he's very, very left leaning. He has said on his podcast plenty of times that he's a Democrat. He's a lifelong Democrat. He has a strong hatred for Donald Trump and Republicans.
Yeah,
I mean, he's always cutting promos on them on there. So I don't buy the argument that Jim Cornette is this Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette is set in his ways,
yes,
but I think he has a wonderful mind for the business. I think it's very valuable.
I think the comment that Jim made with the NWA was misconstrued as being racist because he used fried chicken,
yes,
as the example, as opposed to anything else.
Yep.
But when he says you could strap a bucket of fried chicken, I mean, if you hear bucket and you're thinking of food, KFC.
Yep.
So I can see how it was misconstrued, but I don't think that's how it was intended.
No. Yeah. No. And as far as Punk, I hope it works
that's
out.
what we were talking about.
Yeah, we got a little off topic right there. As far as Punk, I hope it works out. I want to see great things from him. I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, Punk's overrated. I don't think Punk's overrated.
There was allegedly a backstage incident with Seth Rollins.
Oh yeah. we'll talk about that. But yeah, I don't think Punk is overrated. I think Punk is a good worker, and I enjoy all of his matches.
He is currently the highest selling merch seller in AEW and WWE.
And he's the only person that can claim that title.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to end this segment.
Hulk Hogan claimed it.
According to Hogan,
he also
did.
has the most likes on both their social medias.
He does.
Anyway, yep, that we're going to tie a bow onto this when we come back on this day in wrestling history and the main event. Stay tuned.
Once again, here's Hollywood Jeff Petty.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final segment of episode 17 of The Grill Out. I'm your host, Jeff Petty, Hollywood Jeff Petty, the guy who's having an existential crisis. Jason was on call, so he had to leave.
He's going to go find out more about Sting.
You have to come back the same information.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, like But hey, we sent him out there. He's our man on the street, I guess. Is the best way to put it.
I hear he might try to get Bobby Blaze as a guest.
I hope the Blazehead does. He is a Blazehead.
Yeah.
Bobby Blaze, if you're listening to this, we would like to interview you. Especially Jason. Would love to interview you. So yeah, just we wanted to go ahead and take all the Punk stuff and just put it into one segment. There was so much that came out about that this week. Amongst other things, we didn't even get a chance to talk about everything in the first segment that we wanted to. But just to add on to the Punk segment, you were talking about the backstage thing. Yeah. You want to go ahead and bring that up and add that?
Yeah. Allegedly, Seth Rollins tried to get at CM Punk after Survivor Series. My mic keeps cutting out, so I'm like, what?
I will say it's okay. It's actually your headphones.
Yeah.
I was going to say I got all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, he's going after Punk. Storyline, of course, but
Yeah. At first, I thought when he did return last week, I was like, I got worked a little bit with the Raw and stuff. I was like, whoa,
Well, apparently, no one except for Triple H, CM Punk, maybe one other person actually knew he was coming out. So
maybe that was a bit of a shoot from Rollins?
I think to an extent, but I did hear that those in the main event were told right before the main event.
Oh.
So
Okay.
So they only knew about it for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, maybe, if that. Yeah. I mean, and they're more focused on a War Games match.
Yeah.
At the moment, I mean, you know, I that's where my focus would mainly be.
Yeah. And Triple H with his little, putting that copyright logo up there, making you think it's over. Never trust it.
Never trust. Yeah,
especially with Triple H.
Never trust a copyright logo ever. Yeah, especially if Triple H is in charge. I mean, he got everybody with the DIY breakup of that in NXT. People still talk about that. But yeah, no, we'll keep you updated on the Punk stuff and everything. And just like I said in the previous segment, I hope it works out.
Yeah, his next appearance is on the Tribute to the Troop show SmackDown this coming Friday.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because the main event we got some things we got to talk about. But first, we're going to do On This Day in Wrestling History. All right. Yep. Production purposes. I'm putting in a new intro into this.
Sweet.
Yeah, because we keep making reference to Adam Copeland, Edge's theme song.
Nice.
Yep. So
Metalingus, not Megalingus.
Metalingus. You think you know history? On this day in wrestling history, Jason he really wanted to talk about this, but like I said, he got pulled out. So on December 3rd, 1991, WWE's This Tuesday in Texas pay-per-view took place at the Freeman Coliseum in San Antonio, Texas. The rare midweek pay-per-view came just days after the Survivor Series and was headlined by Hulk Hogan winning back the WWF Championship that he had lost just days earlier from The Undertaker. Due to both matches ending under a cloud of shenanigans, the title was vacated a week later. This was the last midweek pay-per-view run by WWE until Taboo Tuesday in 2004. To add on to this, all of the promotion, according to Jason, all of the promotion for This Tuesday in Texas was Survivor Series.
It's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it was almost like Tony was booking it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I do remember, like, I was like 9 years old. Ages me a little bit. I was like 9 when Taboo Tuesday came out, and I was like, that is so weird. Like, I was so used to them being on Sunday, and I'm like, why are we having a Tuesday one?
They eventually put it on Sunday, renamed it Cyber Sunday.
Yeah.
A lot of people think they should bring that back, which I think would be actually kind of cool.
I do too. I think they should. Or maybe, since NXT is on Tuesday, maybe make that a special.
Yeah, that'd be cool, yeah.
Yeah, like I would be okay with that.
Yeah.
And I just did. I thought it was so weird because, like, just being a kid and watching WWE programming, and they're like, this Sunday, and then, like, they're cutting a promo like tomorrow, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Again, a little 9-year-old me, little pudgy 9-year-old me is there like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So, and also with On This Day in Wrestling History, we do have some ECW stuff. So, December 3rd, 2000, ECW ran their penultimate pay-per-view, Massacre on 34th Street, from the Hammerstein Ballroom in Manhattan, New York. On the show, Danny Doring and Roadkill defeated the FBI, Little Guido, and Tony Mamaluke for the ECW Tag Team Championship. In the main event, Steve Corino retained the ECW World Heavyweight Championship in a three-way dance with Jerry Lynn and Justin Credible. Which I believe I think that was ECW's last pay-per-view they ran.
Yeah, you put penultimate. I was like, was that the one before the last? But I'm not entirely
It's
sure.
Honestly, the website I get this off of, I just rip it off of there and just paste it here.
Yeah.
And just read it off. They do really good work. I'll have to. I think it's TJR Wrestling. They do have a lot of On This Day in Wrestling, so they do good work. So shout out to them. I'm not trying to plagiarize their work, but just to let people know where I'm getting this from, and you can go look for it yourself.
I've recently started seeing their stuff, and I think it's pretty decent compared to some websites out there. Like Ringside News, screw you guys. His guy just got arrested.
Oh, what happened?
A battery assault thing.
Oh, okay.
It's like his third time too.
Come on.
Yeah.
I will say this: if I see ringside news,
I ignore it.
I ignore.
I'll occasionally open it because sometimes they quote stuff, and it's like, okay, if you're quoting, that's fine, but oftentimes it's crap.
Yeah, like I normally will not.
Yeah.
Now there is a couple of like Facebook pages that I follow. Mm-hmm. Like I think Dirt Sheet Radio is one of them. They're decent about things. There is the one I think it's called Pro Wrestling Network. The guy that runs it is really good about what he has on there. So usually there, Wrestle Talk, some from the Wrestling Observer newsletter, and also Fightful. You know, just the normal ones.
One of the big issues at ringside, he'll often put a headline that nitpicks one little line from an article to make it sound completely negative or whatever.
Yeah,
completely opposite of what was actually said. Actually, what was his name? Eric Bugenhagen.
Okay,
or the Boogs, Rick Boogs. Apparently there was some kind of thing that ringside said, and Boogs is like, no, that is not what I said. I was referring to this, not what you're trying to make me say.
Yeah. Like, and I think also, so like I've mentioned, I listen to Busted Open Radio from time to time, and I'm trying to think. Thunder Rosa was actually talking. She didn't say who, but she mentioned something about that, how certain websites will take one line and over exaggerate the entire thing. So she has made reference to that.
They did that with Paul White too, like talking about AEW to make it sound like AEW. He was talking bad about AEW. He wasn't.
Yeah,
just one little line that made it sound like that.
Also, another bad one is WWF Old School.
Yeah,
that's another really bad one. Don't follow. I mean, I guess if you want to, it's your life. Do what you want. But I would, whatever they say, I would take with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
And I've started to come around more to House of Wrestling, to listening to what they are saying. But anyway, so
to add one little thing, just real quick, we were talking about how this might have been the final. It was in fact the penultimate. The final was guilty as charged in January 2001.
Okay. I had a feeling there was one more after that. Okay.
Unless you include the WWE ones, but yeah.
Yeah, well, speaking of the WWE ones, segue, because I've been trying to get that good segue in this entire show. December 3rd, 2006, the James Brown Arena in Augusta, Georgia, played host to what is thought by many to be the worst WWE pay-per-view of all time. ECW December to Dismember, which is honestly a great name for a pay-per-view.
It was originally the promotion ECW was one of their events.
Yeah, that, and I think there was like November to Remember, WrestlePalooza. Yeah. Like they had some pretty names. Guilty as charged, like what you just said. The show had only 2 matches advertised in advance, almost like Tony's booking it, and suffered the lowest pre-network buy rate of any WWE pay-per-view in history with just 90,000 buys. The main event saw Bobby Lashley win the ECW title in an Extreme Elimination Chamber where he defeated defending champion The Big Show, Rob Van Dam, Test, Hardcore Holly, and we've been talking about him a lot in this show, CM Punk.
Yep. Where are the lies?
Tell me when. Stop me when I'm telling lies. So yeah, that is on this day in wrestling history. Like I said, I think it is TJRWrestling.com. You can go and just browse around. They do have a lot of stuff when it comes to wrestling history. A lot of cool stuff.
Fun fact: I just realized this CM Punk's the first former AEW World Champion to come back to WWE.
That is true. Yeah, because Cody never won the AEW World Title.
Yeah,
he did book himself into a corner with that one.
Yeah, he did.
I thought that was a terrible idea. Yeah. Or if anything, if Cody was to turn heel, he should have broken that promise and went after it. But that's not here nor there. He's in WWE, and AEW is being AEW at the moment. Mm-hmm. So, final segment, final part, main event, which is us giving you your week in wrestling. A preview to it. It's pretty much normal your regularly scheduled programs this week. Except for December 9th, there will be Impact Final Resolution.
The final Impact?
Yes, the final one before we make the switch over to TNA.
Back to TNA.
Yeah, Hard to Kill.
Yeah.
It's that I just realized Impact Final Resolution is going to be the final pay-per-view under the Impact banner, and Hard to Kill is going to be the first one under TNA.
And they really are hard to kill.
They are.
They're just still going.
They'll never They'll never fix that.
Yeah.
Well, they'll never die. They'll never die. And then also December 9th.
That needs to be a pay-per-view name. They don't never die.
You know what? Scott D'Amore, if you're listening to this, we would like an interview.
Yeah.
But also, we would also like to help you name some of your pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Bring back, well, I think they'd still do Lockdown. Do they do Lockdown? I think they do. I don't know.
I don't know, but that was a good one during the pandemic times. They made jokes about it. WrestleTalk did.
That's true. That's true. I'm curious. I'm Googling right now. 2005.
Or shoot, AEW. I mean, I guess they're going the month of pay-per-views now. You can use Never Die, I guess.
That's true. I mean, that's why they're touting their revenue coming back the way it is.
Yeah.
They're the increase in revenues because they're getting ready to go to monthly pay-per-view. Great idea. I don't have the money for that. I don't know too much.
I don't disagree with more, but monthly might be a bit much.
Yeah,
like maybe one every other month.
Every other month.
Yeah.
My question is it still going to be $50 a month? Yeah. Like, or are you going to, or are we going to get like maybe you got Double or Nothing and All Out and All In, and like basically their big five is going to be the ones that are going to be $50, and anything below that is like $25 or $30.
Yeah.
That would make a lot of sense, and I think that would actually work out better. And no, they don't do Lockdown anymore. The last one they did was in 2016 at Wembley Arena, actually. So, also this Friday is a tribute to the troops for SmackDown.
Yep.
And then, like I said, Monday Raw, Tuesday NXT, Wednesday Dynamite, Thursday will be Ring of Honor and Impact. Friday will be SmackDown,
special tribute to troops,
special tribute to the troops, and Rampage. Yeah, there's a phone ringing in the background.
Saturday has 3 shows.
Yes. Saturday you have Collision, and then Impact Final Resolution, and NXT Deadline.
Technically, WWE's final premium live event of the year
with NXT. Yes.
Yeah.
We still got one more predictions to do between now and the end of the year.
Yeah.
That'll be World's End.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Other than that, is there anything else you would like to add, Josh?
Nope.
Okay. Well, that's going to do it for us, ladies and gentlemen.
I like it at TNA. What?
Just make sure you go and like the Facebook page, The Grill Out. And if you would like to email us about how much you hate the show or how much you like the show, or tell us about what you think of CM Punk and what you think of the whole CM Punk situation. You never know. We may read
Tell us when we're telling lies.
Yes. Also, if you, I didn't tell you this, Josh. Okay, this is going to be a surprise to you. We are actually going to be on YouTube now.
Oh,
yeah. So we're moving
again.
We are technically returning to YouTube. So we're going to be on Spreaker, Podcast Addict, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. I mean, we're expanding. So
we ever going to do some video versions?
Maybe we might start doing TikToks. Ooh. You realize how funny it would be to get Jason to do a TikTok dance?
As the baddie.
So, that's going to do it for us, ladies and gentlemen. And until next time, have a good one.
Goodbye. And good night, back.